Hi, my name is Remo. I am a trainer here at Hillsong College in the Hills, and this is...
Hi, I'm Kirsten. I'm a second-year student in our pastoral stream here at the Hills campus.
It's awesome. So we realize moving across the world, you may have quite a few questions before even starting the process, and we're just going to do our best to kind of help hash those questions out and hopefully calm some nerves around those things, which would be awesome. So let's just see how this goes. Let's answer as many questions as we can. So
Okay.
we'll start with you.
Yeah, so first thing I'm wondering, a lot of people ask, what kind of courses do we offer here at college?
Right, what kind of courses? So our courses are split up in a few different ways. We kind of start with our VET course, or VET course, and that offers a lot of what you would do when you come here to start. Things like pastoral ministry, worship ministry, film and television, dance and production. Those are all included in our VET courses. We also do provide higher ed, which you would maybe know as the degree program. This is kind of broken into things like a master's program, a bachelor's, and also there's other forms of study that we offer online. So we do encourage you to check that out, which is really, really great. What does that look like for you? You're a second-year student here. What are you, a pastoral? Are you worship? Are you TV and media?
Yeah. So currently I'm in the pastoral stream, but my first year as a student I was actually in songwriting. So what's awesome is you're given the option to actually choose to do something different in your second and third year, so you can get a bit of variety, see everything that college has to offer. In my first year I took things like music theory and worship and church culture, and this year I'm taking things like Christian ethics, world perspectives, and preaching, so you get quite a bit of variety across the different streams.
Which is really, really cool. So I'm a pastoral trainer. That's mostly the classes that I teach. And I've gotten to have Kristen a bit in her first year when she was a worship trainer. And then also this year as a pastoral trainer. It's been awesome to see you grow throughout these few years. And it's a pretty exciting process to be able to watch. So hopefully that helps a little bit. That's the courses that we offer. There's also other questions like, what about scholarships? Do we offer scholarships? Do you know what that looks like for us?
Yeah, that was actually one of the main things I was wondering when I was first thinking about coming to college. And I know at this point that church doesn't offer scholarships directly. However, there's a lot of great options. What I personally chose to do was work beforehand and save as much as possible. And then I also was able to find a part-time job here as well to support myself. What a lot of people also choose to do is secure sponsorship through their church. Some countries also offer government aid, so there's a lot of resources. We want to make it as easy for you as possible to get here.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. And make sure you check what your home country offers. Some countries do actually provide finance through loans and things like that. I know my country doesn't personally, so you need to make sure and check that. But we are believing that whether finances are easy or difficult, God can provide. We know in Ephesians 3:20 that God can provide and offer more than we could ever ask, dream, think, or imagine. So don't give up on believing God for a miracle. We've gotten to see time and time again testimonies of students who didn't have it all together, but God came and provided and made a way for them. We're believing the same for you, and I think that'd be a really, really great testimony to have. So what about working and studying? You touched on that a little bit. What does that look like? Are we allowed to work while studying? How many hours are we allowed to work to save up while we're studying? What does that look like for you?
Yeah. So as a student, you're actually given the option of working 40 hours a fortnight. So you can split that up 20 hours a week. You can do 30 hours one week, 10 another. I personally try and do 20 and 20 because it's just the easiest thing with classes and wanting to stay plugged into church life and just also wanting to get to enjoy your time in Sydney. Yeah. So 20 hours is a great fit. A lot of people will get jobs in cafes or as a lifeguard at Wet n Wild, which is a big water park we have here. I was able to find an online job, so there's plenty of different options. Once you're here, it's pretty easy to get the ball rolling and finding a job.
Yeah, which is really cool. 20 hours is just right around the right amount as well to be able to study full time and work your hours to be able to fit into your schedule that you have. So flexibility is a great option with that as well. And my story was similar as well. I found a job within my first year. I ended up keeping the same job for all 3 years of my study here, which was a massive blessing. And it's pretty cool. People are actually excited to hire people with great attitude. So our church provides many people with great attitude. So praise God for that, which is amazing. So we're both from Hills though. There's a few differences between city and Hills when it comes to study. So when you apply, you'll get the option to apply to Hills or city. So hopefully we can help with a few of the differences there to make that thing a little bit easier for you as well. So what do you know about the Hills? We're both here at Hills. What are some things that make the Hills Hills?
Yeah. So the main reason that I chose to come to the Hills is because I wanted to be where all the action is, and that's not to say that there's not a lot going on in the city as well. But the Hills campus is actually called the mothership by a lot of us here. And so we'll have a lot of our events based at the Hills campus, and we'll link out to some of the other locations. We also have the brand new Epicenter, which is actually where we're standing right now. And it's got state-of-the-art facilities, recording studios, songwriting spaces, a radio studio, all sorts of amazing things up here. Also, the cost of living in the Hills is a little bit lower than in the city, and you tend to get a little bit more space, so it's easier to get a single room, which was something that was important for me.
Yeah, really good, really good. The city is, on the other hand, it is quite a bit closer to the beach. So if you come from somewhere like where I came from, where it was rain all the time and never sunshine, you might be like, I want to live next to the beach. The city might be a good fit for you. Here at the Hills, it's about 45 minutes to an hour of a distance, and that's where I currently am. But with it being that close to the beach and in downtown Sydney, in the heart of the city, it obviously is a bit more expensive. So if you're worrying about finances, which was where I was, I applied for the Hills, and that really helped me be able to do this process without struggling as much with finances. Definitely some things to think about. So hopefully that helps with that process. There's a lot of a cafe vibe going on in the city. I have been told it's a lot easier to find a job because the more things going on, the more places need hiring. So definitely encourage you to look into that. It's a little bit of a smaller setting for the campuses there, for the places of study. So you might have a bit of an easier chance finding your way into serving in a higher capacity quicker. But all those things are just slight differences, and hopefully that helps the process for you a little bit, which would be awesome. So what about applying? What needs to happen before we can apply? So you applied just over 2 years ago. What did that process look like? Did you need to have anything covered before starting the process?
It was actually super simple. I was a little bit nervous because, okay, here I am thinking about moving to the other side of the world to go to college, and it just seems a bit daunting, but college actually makes it as straightforward and simple for you as possible. The only things that I needed to get my application started were a passport, so just proof of citizenship, some form of ID. I also shared a bit about my salvation testimony, so talked about why I wanted to come to college, how I had come to Jesus, and then the last thing I needed was just a plan for how I was going to be able to support myself and cover my tuition over my time here. Everything else can be taken care of sort of after you've initially applied.
Yeah, that's really, really important. So all we're asking you to do really is just start the process with your salvation testimony, your proof of how you're going to be able to provide for yourself financially. And of course, you know, with all of that, we also want to make sure to know other things in the process. But all you have to do is start the process. And our team, you were telling me before, helped and took the conversation forward from there. So when you didn't have everything together, they said, that's fine, no worries. Can you also get us this? And really, really important, don't stress so much about the big process, having it all done. Just start the conversation, and our team will do our very best to help you forward. And you know what, with that, we are really believing that if you're watching this, you're going to be coming very soon. And want to encourage you to start the application process knowing that there's a God who wants to provide for you, help you with everything that you're maybe a bit anxious about at the moment. And on the other side of that is a city, a group of people waiting for you to meet you, to help you through your time of study, really believing that God wants to bring you here to raise you, equip you, empower you, and then release you into your God-given purpose. So can't wait to see you. I'm sure that we'll be here when you come to meet you, and why wouldn't you want to come here? So hopefully that was helpful for you. Kirsten, you are amazing. You are helpful to our college, and hopefully that helped you in your application process. Be blessed.